so hi everyone. So today we will discuss about few screens. Okay, so why screens? Because screens are very important when you talk about screener. Okay, so we use screeners a lot, and I actually use screener a lot. I only use screener. You can say I used Tidori Finance a couple of times, but I didn't like it much. So I stick to screener because of layout and everything. You can use anything else. Basically, idea of creating screens remains same. Maybe the way of creating is different. So today we talk about screens using a screener. Okay, screens are basically a set of formula what we write, and then based on the formula get a list of stocks filtered, and so that our research becomes easier. There are more than 7,000 stocks are listed, so that you cannot go through everyone, and then so we create the formula so that we can filter out some stocks based on our way of investing, and then we can go through each one of them or whichever you want. So today we will discuss about that. So if you go to my login of screener, you will find these four screens which I created, custom screens I created for myself. Okay, so these are again custom. Apart from that, few populars which screeners suggest: low on 10-year average earnings, capacity expansion, debt reduction. Basically, if you click on debt reduction, you'll get these many stocks, 198 stocks that reduce their debt in last probably 1 year. So this is the formula: when debt is less than debt 3 years back, and gross block is greater than 1.2 of gross block preceding year. Okay, so basically gross block is the capacity of the business, like manufacturing business, so it's manufacturing capacity. So this is what about one. Similarly, they have FIIs buying, they have companies creating new high. You can always click on FII buying, and you can see these many stocks are there where FIIs increase their holding. So Union Bank, for example, you can go, and then you can go to shareholding pattern, and then probably you will see that FIIs increase their holding from 2.98% to 3.97%. Similarly, DI is reduced from 2.69 to 12.28%. That's why the stock was there in the FII buying list. If you go back, if you click on Indian Bank, for example, then also you'll see the similar kind of pattern. Go to shareholding pattern, and you'll see that they increase their holding from 4.33 to 5.89. So if you are interested in those kind of stocks where FIIs put their money, then this filter, the screener, can be used full for you. So similarly, there are a lot of screeners. There are a few I showed you: bearish crossovers, golden crossover, quarterly results, the bull cartel. So all the stocks which are growing on the growing phase, or kind of the price increasing and everything. Okay, so these are the different things. So we can always go through any one of these already ready-made screens. I will talk about the 4 screens which I created. Not necessarily this will help you. Not necessarily you have to create the same thing. Just giving my thought process, my point of view, and things which are useful for me. It might be completely useless for you. It might be very useful for you. It depends how you do it. And these screens are actually private to me. I have not made it public. Okay, so let's start. So I'll start with this margin expansion and debt reduction. This is my primary stock filter these days. Okay, so we got 29 results. I'll go here. I'll show you what I tried. Okay, so I go into ROC is greater than 25. Debt to equity ratio I prefer to be less than 0.5. Okay, market capitalization I want to have a small cap kind of thing, or small cap and kind of micro cap. So between 1,000 and 10,000 crores. So basically, why we do small cap? Because the chance of becoming a mid cap or large cap is much higher than a large cap becoming extra large cap. Okay, it's just a kind of risk factor, but this is where I have created this 1,000 and 10,000 crores. And then debt is less than debt 3 years back. So my filter was that current debt is less than what it had 3 years back. We can change it also. ROC is greater than average return of last 3 years, and P is less than 30. Now P less than 30 is again subjective. There are some stocks for which 40-50 is very normal P. If goes below 40, it's a good buy. For some stocks, even 30 is very high. Okay, for some banks, even 30 is very high. Okay, so again you might need to change it to get some stocks in the screener which will get filtered out even if it is good, because your P is very much less on the filter criteria. So this is what it is. I got few stocks, out of which I tell you, Man Infra I invested few days back, I think a month back or so. Archean Chemical I invested almost near about a year back. Okay, and Green Panel I am very bullish on. I was very bullish on. I missed to invest. Okay, but these stocks I'll tell you good stocks which I like. Okay, I'll not tell you you should invest or not, but which I like. Archean Chemical I like a lot. Okay, maybe we'll discuss in some other days. Man Infra, I love this stock, and it has given a good return, almost 50% return in around 1 month. It's a very good stock. You should go and read more about Man Infra. The way they do business, I love how they do the business. Okay. Then we talk about Green Panel Industries. This is a very good stock. It's a real estate boom, proxy to real estate. You can go and read about that. Jamna Auto, I want to read about it. I invested in the post-COVID and then I sold it again, but now I want to read more about it. Why this stock is not moving, I have to read, understand. A few more stock which I want to read. Shesasai paper I want to read. I invested post-COVID sometime and then I moved out. Chamanlal Setia, I invested again. And then post-COVID I took the money out when it rallied some bit. But I already invested in KRBL, so I don't want to get into one more rice stock. Okay, so maybe that's the reason I'm avoiding it. It might be a very good stock. You can go and read. Likita Infra is something which I want to read. I am looking this stock from last 1 year. I never invested in it, but this is something which I want to read again. I was reading that time, but now I didn't read it for last almost 6-7 months. Like 2-3 quarter results I missed. Maybe I'll read again. I'll see if there's opportunity. So idea is that this is the stocks which I got. Now, as I told you, if you can increase the price earning to, let's suppose 40, then few stocks more will come. With 44, it's almost 15 stocks have increased. So what became now in the stock? MSTC came. MSTC rallied, I think more than 70-80%. Okay, but still MSTC is there. So now MSTC P is 31. If you go to MSTC, historically the P is very less. Okay, wow, it rallied like almost 430 to more than 1000. That is crazy rating. That is more 250%. That's crazy run. Okay. So I don't know if anybody invested in this stock, please let us know in the comment section. This is a crazy running. If you see P ratio, it was once upon a time 2030, almost 33, now it's in 30. So you can say it's almost close to lifetime high. Average P is 11.4. So I think it's much more overvalued right now. Okay. Then if you see Rolex rings, it came inside 30, like more than 30, less than 40. But if you go to the historical P ratio, sorry, I scrolled down. Historical P, the historical P is only 30, so it's almost close to historical P. You can look into it. And then if you go back, then what new came in the list? Nucleus was there. JTL, I think it was there. Yeah, JTL came. It was 35. It came. Then Finotex came. It was 35. So these stocks are good. JTL is very good stock. You can read. Finotex is good. Flare writing, I was reading one day. Okay, I'm not very convinced on pens, but I was reading about it. Maybe I need to read more and more and somehow to convince myself that this stock will do good. But their numbers and all are very good. Okay. Then Saxoft came. Okay, and then what else? Dreamfolk Services came. I am bullish on Dreamfolk Services. Okay, maybe it's overvalued, undervalued. We have to read further to see the valuation. But I kind of bullish on the service what they provide. Dreamfolk Services. Okay, they are into lounge services in the airport and everything. Okay. The way the airports are increasing, the way people are becoming aspirational, the way the people are ready to spend money and travel, maybe these lounge businesses will flourish in the future. And they are also going to partner with Indian Railways for lounge service on the railway station. And you have seen recently, okay, I'm not sure if where you belong, that railway station has those kind of services or not, but recently I belong to Assam, so Guwahati has launched a very premium kind of lounge on the railway station. Okay, 30 rupees per hour kind of thing. I'm not sure it's maintained by Dreamfolks or not, but I think similar kind of services will be launched, even better than that, will be launched in bigger railway stations, and somewhere Dreamfolks will come into the picture. So I'm kind of want to read more on this. Then what came? Uniparts, I was always bullish. I want to read about it. So there's a lot of things actually. We cannot just go through everyone. But the reason why I am saying this is something which you should read. Okay, this is how we should filter. Okay, now for you criteria might be ROC, might be you want to put 20, you want to run this query, the result will increase more. You want to have more strict criteria, you can make it 30, the result will reduce by a lot, it will be only 30. So you can go play around, just you can pause and you can use this to write your own screener if you want, if you feel this is useful. We'll go back to next screen what I am using. So this is the kind of my current thing where I want to find undervalued, good quality stock where I can invest for long period of time. This is not for short period of time. When I say long, I mean 2 to 3 years. I'm not into 5, 10 years, 20 years kind of investor. I want to focus only on 2 to 3 years, at max to max 3 years, not beyond that. Okay. And So I'll go back. So this is one screen, multiple times I have to go back. I'll click on screens. So this is one, margin expansion and debt reduction. Second is diamonds in the dust. So this is that that multibagger you search and then you wait for a long period of time and then it clicks. Out of this, I'll give you the screens first. So P less than 20, very strict P less than 20, because after this rally, there are very few stocks which are there under 20, so the result is less. Maybe if you want to become more extensive, then you can put 30, results has become 8. It's still only 8 because other criteria are very strict. Capitalization less than 5,000, so I'm looking for micro cap here. Average earning of 5 is 20, debt equity is 0.75, and capital work in progress is greater than less than last. So basically the company is through lot of capex is going on. So again you can see I am focusing on capex. I am focusing on stocks which are micro cap. I am focusing on stocks with PE is very less. So it's definitely a lot of future prospect of the stock is added into this search. So this is a kind of multi-bagger search. I'll give you my thoughts on one of the stock, Hind Oil Exploration. Basically, I am extremely bullish on this stock. Okay, extremely, but still I am not invested because last 3 months I am very bullish on the stock. The reason is very simple. The reason is basically I'll show you, not here, balance sheet. This is the reason I am so much bullish on this stock. This is the reason why it invested a lot and now not doing anything. Now if you go to the con call letter, realize what they are doing. They are doing a lot of things. They are trying to create rigs, they are trying to create wells, they are trying to create some kind of I forgot the term, but they do for oil and drilling and all those things. So they are doing a lot of things, and everything together will increase the revenue to almost 3 to 4 times once this becomes reality. So there are a lot of things, but nothing has getting kind of output very soon. But if you see this later, con call later, you will realize that they are trying to do a lot. Second thing, that this is company is close to my place, not very close, but almost 50-60 km close to my place. So someone can relate what they are saying. So for example, maybe the video will get longer if I do this. So let's see if I can open the notes and do this. I cannot open the con call letter and do that. For example, they are doing Geo and Pro is now a wholly owned subsidiary of HOEC, and HOEC will have 35% participating interest in the Kharsang block. So Kharsang is a place close to my place. You can search on internet. It's a place in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, my hometown is very on the border of Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Okay, so this is one. Then I'm not sure. So production in the Dirok is restricted due to lack of demand and volatility in offtake. So Dirok is also very close to my place. So their services are very close to my place. So I can understand when they say there is some kind of issues going on, people issues or geographical issues or transportation issues. I can see, okay, they are not lying or they are not trying to give some fake news. It's true, there is some issues going on here. That's why these things are happening. So to an extent, I'll not say that I know everything about the company, but to an extent I can understand, okay, at least I can proofread that they are not saying something just to manipulate the kind of news. So I am very bullish on this. I was looking at this stock from 165, it moved to 187, almost 20 to 23 rupees, so 15%. But still I see there is a lot of potential. So maybe I'll read more about it and then I'll see if I can invest in this stock or not. So this is the second screener. Third screener, what is there for me is swing trading. This is one part of my learning. So I do two kind of investment. One is investment for 2-3 years kind of investment. Another is 6 months, 8 months kind of swing trading, even 3 months also, depends. So where is it? So this is the screen which I do swing trading. Market cap is 5,000. So like even I want to increase more than 10,000 also in some cases. Okay, the ROC should be more than 15. Debt to equity should be less than 2. I don't want to focus on debt companies. Sales growth of 5 years more than 15. I can add more criteria here. For example, I want to so it's a swing trading, right? Let's suppose I want to add here the say P ratio, price to ratio is less than historical price ratio, historical P 3 years. So if I click on this, you will see only 19 results are there. So if you see Infosys, for example, so Infosys P ratio, if you click here, the P ratio is less than P ratio of 3 years back. Okay, so 3 years back, right now P is 3 years. So 3 years P is 28.8. current P is 28.1. So this is P is less than 3 years back P. If you go further, suppose Polycab India, I posted about Polycab India on the community post. If you guys have not followed that community post, do read that. It might have been useful if you read that time. P ratio, if you see last 3 years, was 39.6. After this crash, the P was almost 50 before that. Now it crashed to almost 39.1. It's 39.6. It was almost close to 37 when it crashed completely on that day. This day I put some money over here in this particular stock. So this is Polycab India. So my reason of showing all these things is that how the screens basically give the stocks which you can choose, and then you can go ahead with your thesis. Basically it all depends your thesis and what you want, your target of investment, your motive of investment, what kind of return you're expecting. All these things matters, and based on that you can create your own screen, and then you can filter some stocks. So this is one thing. There are many like that, some things which I'm interested. If I say, I'll not say I'm going to buy or sell, I may not buy, I may not sell, but I'm kind of interested in few things. One of them is IRCTC. If it is below P ratio wise, depends, because P is already overvalued. Maybe I don't want to go into this direction. Okay, I'll put a filter here if that's the scenario. Okay, why it is not taken P ratio? This is what swing trading, right? Okay. We did that, right? I'm not sure why it is. P ratio is less than historical P. Historical P 3 years 25. I don't know what happened that time. Okay, and then but in some cases the P is very high. If you see 55, 98, I don't want to invest in a stock, even swing trading which is 98. It doesn't make sense sometimes. Dixon is 117. Okay, it's already highly overvalued, I feel. 90, 85, 90 I can give for Dixon, but not more than that. If I want to put more filter on this, then maybe I'll go for price to earning ratio. Since it's not long term investment, I can give price to earning. For example, I want to invest something which is less than 50. Okay, so if I run this query, I'll get only 13. So Infosys, ICICI, Polycab, Pi Industries, Indraprasth Gas, Vinati Organics, India Mart, Fine Organics, Mahanagar Gas, Root Mobile, EID Peri, Praj Industries, Sargama India. If you want me to give a pick, my pick will be Root Mobile. Go and read. I have gone through the con call letters. Go through the con call letters. There is something happening in this stock. If you think it's helpful, you can go ahead to invest. Or if you think it's not helpful, you can decide not to invest. But out of this list, Root Mobile is something which I am reading these days. Okay, I'm reading these days means I was reading few days back. This is one. If I go back, then last one is historical P. Okay, this one more is the diamonds in the dust. I told you it's a long thing. Then we'll go for P lower than historical P. The same criteria which I showed you there, I reduced here. I added only few criteria. Historical P is less than 3 years P, 20,000 with 1,000 to 1,000 crores. Basically, I'm focusing only on this. Okay, so if I focus on this, if I run this query, I get a list of 22 results. But here I'll pick the results or pick the stocks which are very stable in nature. That's why then they can move cross the historical P and reach a level where you can say it's a P average. For example, don't look at Rajas Exports. Okay, for example, don't look at I don't know, I'll not say Brightcom Group. Don't look at that. Few stocks you need to filter out by news and everything. Something I don't want to touch also. For example, Steelcast. Steelcast is something which I want to read because the reason is very simple. They produce steel alloy wheels. Alloy wheels are in demand. The demand will keep on increasing because of the premiumization that is happening in the cars. So Steelcast is something which I want to read. If I think that okay, something is not extremely wrong here, then maybe I can decide to invest or I can decide not to invest. Again, I have to go through this, but this is how I filter. I filter something on the face value itself that I'll not going to invest on this stock. Okay, so this is how you can do. So this is one of the screeners. So basically these are the few screeners what I created for myself, and this is how I follow, and this is how I select the stocks. It's up to you whether you want to invest, you want to select the stocks or not, you want to use the screeners or not. So this was the video. If you think it's helpful for you, if you think we should create more videos like this, and if you think there's some stock which is worth to discuss for everyone, do let us know in the comment section, and do like the video, do share with your friends and family, and do subscribe the channel if you are new to the channel by any chance. And thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay safe.